Thanks, Keith. We'll have the latest results for you in just a moment. First, we're going to wrap up this hour. You can keep watching on CBC News Network. I'm Peter Mansbridge. We'll be back in less than 1 minute.
We are watching history unfold, the biggest story on the planet tonight. You're looking live at the scene in Chicago where crowds are crammed into Barack Obama's headquarters, hoping for 4 more years. And it is a similar scene in Boston tonight at Mitt Romney's headquarters, where Republicans are anxiously waiting, hoping for a new commander-in-chief tonight. And as the GTA watches the showdown south of the border, our reporters are out watching alongside Democrats and Republicans here in Toronto. CBC News Toronto at 11 starts right now. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Wise. We'll have all your local news and weather, including a possible break in the teacher job action. But first, the biggest story in the GTA tonight is unfolding south of the border. Who will be the next American president? The latest results are going to be at the bottom of your screen. You can see Barack Obama is leading over Mitt Romney right now with 168 electoral votes. The magic number tonight is 270, and the first to reach that number will win. Now let's take a look at where things stand. You can see the deep blue and deep red states. They've already been decided tonight, but many of the important swing states are in those lighter colors, and they are still too close to call at this point. Now, many Americans living in the GTA are watching tonight's results closely after sending in their ballots. Genevieve Tomney starts our coverage. She is live at a very animated Sheraton hotel where the Democrats are gathering tonight. Genevieve.
Yes, well, there was just a huge round of applause here as the results are coming in here, looking at a lot of positive feelings about what's been going on so far tonight. A lot of the close races that, people were wondering if they were going to be too tough to call have so far gone Obama's way. So, that has been a lot of the talk leading up to this election day, whether Obama still had that momentum, still had that support that he had back in 2008. Well, certainly there's no question about that tonight from the people here. Have a listen to what some of them had to say tonight.
As a progressive, his outlook on the world and what he's trying to do domestically in the United States is important for Canada, because if a strong conservative is elected in the United States, that's no doubt going to strengthen the conservative movement in Canada.
He had the recession to deal with, he had to recover from that. But I think overall, I think it's good for Canada as well, because it's going to be good for our trade, I think, as well.
The U.S. is so big and it's so divided right now, but really the direction it's going and the direction that it's going with Obama is the direction it should go.
It's a really interesting mixture of people here tonight. You have a lot of Americans, a lot of dual citizens, some Canadians as well. A couple of those people you heard from 2 of those very important swing states, one from Ohio, one from Florida. Those still very much in question still tonight. So while you can get a sense from behind me that there is certainly a current of positivity running through this room, this race is not over yet. There are still some very close races to call, so people here are going to be standing by for the next little while just to find out exactly what happens with their candidate tonight. Reporting live from the Sheraton Hotel, I'm Genevieve Tomney.
Okay, thank you, Genevieve. Now, while Democrats here were excited, some Republicans just got some good news. Associated Press declaring Romney has won North Carolina, one of the battleground states. Our Lorenda Redikoff is standing by at the Harbor Sports Grill on Yonge Street, and that's where Republicans here in Toronto are watching the race unfold. Lorenda.
Well, Mike, here it's a much quieter group, much smaller. The Republicans Abroad group is much smaller than that Democrats Abroad group, but certainly very passionate supporters of that party and specifically of Mitt Romney. We have some people here who are originally from the United States, including people from those battleground states. One man I spoke with earlier from Ohio originally, very nervous and anticipating, not sure what's going to come. Here's some of what people had to say tonight.
Very rare to find someone that has so much ability, both private sector, public sector. I mean, a governor, that's sheer executive ability, as a businessman, and I mean, I think that's just an incredible opportunity.
I think Governor Romney is great for the economy overall. in terms of international markets, in terms of Canadian investors. It's just more than just business.
The economy will grow in Canada as it grows in the U.S. We will have a business leader in the White House, and we won't have somebody that's just been a politician all his life.
And what we've heard from people, you heard that people are talking about how Mitt Romney, a business leader. The other issue that I heard quite a bit tonight is about his military policy, and they like that he wants to strengthen the military. A lot of people I've talked to, though, say they don't expect the results to come in tonight. They don't expect to know, and they think that there will have to be some recounts going on. So we'll just wait and see what happens. Reporting live, I'm Lorenda Redicott.
Okay, thank you, Lorenda. Now we're going to stay on this story for the rest of the show tonight. Our newsroom is keeping a close eye on the results as they pour in. We'll check in again with our reporters and bring you all the developments as they unfold tonight. Well, let's take a look at the weather right now. We'll go upstairs to Claire Martin in our Toronto Weather Centre with a look at what to expect overnight and first thing tomorrow morning. Claire.
You know what I thought I'd start with, Mike, this evening is a look at the temperatures, mainly because we are marginally milder than we were this time last night, sitting at around 1 degree. We've got a little bit of cloud around, but I'm going to be mean. Throw in the wind chill this evening, and it feels closer to around -2 degrees. Not a huge difference. Overnight tonight, I'm going to take the ambient air temperature down to around the -2 mark, slightly cooler once you head north out of the city, but not by much. So tomorrow morning, another cloudy start to the day, a bit of a chilly one as well. Temperature still holding at around that -2 mark. The good news is, as we go through the forecast, we're gradually going to dig our way out of the hole we've dug ourselves into, and we should start to see more in the way of sunshine. I'll take a more detailed look at the forecast in a few minutes. Mike, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Claire.
You're welcome.
And some breaking news here in Toronto now in the secondary school teachers dispute. Tonight, their union announced teachers will not be taking job action tomorrow as originally planned. Representatives from the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation will meet with the government tomorrow. Their talk will focus on resolving the current issues in the education sector. Now, the decision comes after a meeting with the Minister of Education 2 weeks ago. Any of the work action originally planned for tomorrow at the 8 public school boards is now on hold. However, the union says if there are no solutions by this Sunday at midnight, the schools could see some work action next week. A 72-year-old woman is lucky to be alive tonight after being struck while crossing the road near Jarvis and Wellesley. She had an outpouring of assistance tonight. According to a witness, a dozen people helped remove her from beneath the vehicle.
These 12 guys came over, they picked up this vehicle and they moved it right off of her so we can start first aid onto her. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life.
Incredible. The accident happened just after 5 p.m. Police say the man was driving a Jeep, wasn't paying attention when he struck the 72-year-old. She had the right of way to cross. Luckily, she only has minor injuries. Officers say they plan on laying charges. A grandmother is on life support and her husband is in critical condition tonight after a fire at their Scarborough home this morning. A total of 6 family members lived in the home on Kamlish Road, that's near Birchmount in Lawrence. 5 of them were taken to hospital. 3 of them have since been released, including a woman that is 5 months pregnant, along with her 22-month-old child. The neighborhood is in shock tonight.
It just kind of hits you. You know, you see it on TV, but to actually see it in front of you, it's totally different.
Oh my God, I never seen in my life like this has happened. I don't know, very, very sad.
The fire marshal is looking for a cause. Officials are focusing their investigation on the carport and this burnt-out cube van you see there. They believe it may have caused or contributed to the fire. Damage to the family home is estimated at $200,000. And one man is under arrest in connection with a double stabbing this morning on Bathurst Street. Around 8 o'clock, police were called to an apartment building near Glencairn. That's where they found a 46-year-old woman stabbed in the neck. A 45-year-old man was also attacked, and police say the suspect knew the female victim. We're learning more tonight about just why Toronto police asked the TTC to provide buses for Mayor Ford's football team last week. Police say it was a matter of community safety, and that's why 50 riders were kicked off their bus. But as Natalie Collada reports, many transit riders tonight aren't satisfied with that explanation.
TTC users pour out of the Dufferin subway, many not convinced by the explanations they've heard.
It's not reasonable. it doesn't make sense.
I think it's just all an excuse and that it was unnecessary.
50 passengers were kicked off the 36 Finch West bus on Thursday. It and another were sent to pick up Mayor Rob Ford's football team. Police say they had good reason. Tension between the team and its opponent were high.
It was out of caution for something happening and community safety. The sergeant that made that call feels very strongly that it was the right decision.
But when the bus didn't arrive within 20 minutes, the mayor called the head of the TTC.
Wasn't asking me for a bus. He was trying to say that the TPS had asked for a bus. Where the hell was it?
Today, Andy Byford apologized to riders. He insisted the TTC was following protocol.
At the end of the day, the emergency services keep us safe. They do a great job. It's not our position to question them.
But along the Dufferin line, not all riders agree.
Fine, she stands behind her decision, but that doesn't mean it was a good decision.
It seems to me like a misuse of public resources. I think if there was a safety issue, the police could have handled it without inconveniencing other members of the public.
Natalie Collada, CBC News, Toronto.
The province is pulling the plug on its Service Ontario kiosks. Now, that decision comes after an investigation into safety and security concerns. The government says it will permanently shut down all 72 of the kiosks' locations. In June, the program was temporarily suspended amid concerns personal identities and financial information could be stolen. Now, the McGuinty government says it'll just cost too much to upgrade the kiosks to safeguard that data. It says any services that could be done at the kiosks can still be done online or at Service Ontario offices. And on day many Torontonians are learning about U.S. politics, some Toronto students got a refresher on the Canadian system.
Well, who am I?
You're Pierre Elliott Trudeau's son.
That's right. And what do I do? I'm a politician.
Liberal Party leadership candidate Justin Trudeau stopped in at Leo Basic Day School today. He chatted with students and answered questions, and he also slipped in he does want Barack Obama to win tonight's U.S. presidential election. We're going to turn back to our top story, and it is the top story in the world tonight. Everyone is waiting to hear who will be the next president of the United States. Toronto is watching one of the closest races in U.S. history, and coming up next, Genevieve Tomney will be back live from the Democrat Party here in Toronto. Stay with us.
Can't live without.
Here's a live look at Obama headquarters in Chicago. You see some happy flags being waved there, some celebration there. Obama just picked up 55 electoral votes in California, bringing him to 239 ahead of Romney at the moment. Now let's go back to Genevieve Tomney. She is live at the Sheraton Hotel, where Democrats are watching all of this unfold from downtown Toronto tonight. Genevieve.
Well, I've been talking, Mike, about that positive undercurrent in the room. Dave Eggers is with Democrats Abroad here. Chris Eggers is with Democrats Abroad. He's been leaving a lot of that positivity tonight. Just talk to me about the mood in the room here, Chris.
It's a phenomenal room. We're getting ready for Ohio to come through in about 5 minutes' time, and that will seal it up for President Obama.
Still a couple of tight races to go. We've seen some really good news for Obama tonight. How are you feeling like the rest of the night's going to go?
This night has gone exactly as planned, or exactly as predicted. Barack Obama will be our president for the next 4 years, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, talk to me about, a victory for Obama and what that would mean for Canada, the country that you're now calling home.
A victory for Barack Obama would not necessarily mean a lot for Canada. Canada and the United States have ties that transcend politics. We have a relationship, a very special relationship that goes back. We have best friends, trading partners. We're there for each other, whether it's Barack Obama or anybody else.
It's interesting to see the dynamic in this room. You have Americans, Canadians, all here together for this common purpose. What does it mean to you?
Hope transcends all. This message that Barack Obama brings out transcends all nations, all citizens. We can make a difference. We can come forward.
Do you think it's going to be a long night here?
I'm going to be in bed by midnight with a smile on my face.
So there you go, Mike. A lot of confidence here in this room with Democrats Abroad, but still a couple states left to call, some really important ones. So send it back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Genevieve. We want to update you on another local issue here. Canadians in Windsor watching the U.S. election closely, specifically the election in Michigan, mainly because of Proposal 6 in Michigan. Now, that concerns a proposed new bridge between Detroit and Windsor. It's to be paid for by the Canadian government, but the proposition would have required a link to be approved by a majority of Michigan residents. Well, tonight, early indications are that proposition will likely be defeated. Here's an artist's rendition of the bridge. Right now, it's still too close to call, but the numbers coming in are showing about a 2-to-1 vote against Proposition 6, which means the bridge will likely go ahead. There's a live look at the Toronto skyline right now. It is, what's it say down there? 0 degrees. Hard to read right now. Time now for a look at your 7-day GTA forecast. Let's bring back Claire Martin. Claire?
Thanks very much, Mike. The real problem that we've seen with the forecast of late is we keep calling for some late afternoon sunshine, and right now we have a really flabby or slack ridge of high pressure. There's the break showing up late in the day towards the south. It didn't last long. The reason is we're sitting by the lake, and the lake is an open source area of moisture. And with that ridge not being particularly strong, we tend to get the clouds lingering. You can see some breaks around us. London this hour is cleared out quite nicely, but the cloud is kind of like Swiss cheese. It's holy, but it's still pretty much around us. And that's going to be the same as we go into the forecast. In fact, tomorrow morning, you can see a finger of cloud around us. I'm going to call for fairly cloudy skies again tomorrow morning. A little bit of sunshine, and we get some mixing, and we tend to generate the cloud quite readily. We do try to clear out a little bit as we go through the afternoon. So again, some late afternoon clearing, but temperatures are going to struggle. Going to go for a high tomorrow of around 5 degrees. We got to about 3.5 today. So we're going to come in marginally warmer than we did today, but still becoming well below the seasonal mark. So Wednesday, there's your cloud around the morning, clearing up somewhat into the afternoon. Another cool night into Thursday. And you know what? Thursday and Friday, we're gradually digging ourselves out of that hole. Friday, we're back to around seasonal temperatures, more in the way of sunshine finally into the weekend. And an area of low pressure drives to our north, but it'll draw up warm air from the south. So temperatures really recover nicely. A bit of a windy one on Sunday, but that wind is a warm wind, a southwesterly wind. So temperatures on Sunday easily into the teens, running well above the seasonal mark. Monday, we're still quite mild, but there's a cold front building its way down on the backside of that warm air. Temperatures will still be warm on Monday, but as we go Monday night into Tuesday and the front drops through, we'll see those temperatures take a little bit of a drop. And in fact, on Tuesday, I think we'll pay for the warm weather with a good chance of seeing some showers and a much cooler high, I'm afraid. But till then, we stay quite dry. That's your forecast to now. Mike, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Claire.
You're welcome.
Still ahead, checking in as people vote. Facebook provides a real-time view of who is voting and where. We'll check in on what's trending now. Plus, a marathon meeting between the NHL and its players goes well into the night. But are there any other signs of progress? Signa Butler will have all the details in your CBC Sports Update coming next. There we are. U.S. President Barack Obama has been re-elected. This just in the last half hour, we've seen a number of developments leading to this right now. Start of the hour, this is a live look from Obama's headquarters in Chicago. At the top of the hour, we saw votes coming in from California, bringing him much closer to the needed 270 seats for the Electoral College. Associated Press just calling the battleground state of Ohio about 5 minutes ago. That, we figure, is enough to push him over, guaranteeing the Democrats of holding on to the White House for another 4 years. Now, still a lot of unanswered questions still about other states such as Florida. A number of votes still to come in there. We're seeing some indications that in some counties, some votes might not be in until tomorrow afternoon. But as of now, they're projecting there are enough Electoral College votes for President Barack Obama to be re-elected tonight. Yeah, there may be a glimmer of hope regarding the NHL lockout as well tonight. The impasse has lasted nearly 2 months, and both sides met at length today in New York. The meeting's just actually ending. Joining us now from CBC Sports is Signa Butler. So, Signa, give us an update.
Yeah, it was a marathon meeting tonight, Mike, between the two sides, and they got underway mid-afternoon today in New York City, wrapping up at about 10 p.m. Eastern Time. and they have agreed to talk again tomorrow. So that is a promising sign. Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly releasing a statement tonight saying that they weren't going to comment on the substance or detail of what was happening until its conclusion. So that's where we're at right now, and the sides will reconvene in New York tomorrow.
Signa.
Back to you.
Okay, thanks.
This sports update is brought to you by Betfair.net. Betfair.net. Better odds, bigger wins.
Tonight's election is certainly gathering a lot of attention online as people gather to discuss the results. Our colleagues over at CBC.ca holding a live blog online tonight. And on Twitter, the hashtag #USVoteCBC was trending in Canada all night as viewers shared their thoughts about our on-air coverage. I want to show you something interesting that Facebook did today. Americans who logged in this morning were reminded to get out and vote, and when they did, to check in when they actually marked their ballot. And what Facebook did was actually show those check-ins live as they happened. You get a sense of every time a dot went off here, that was someone casting a vote. Now, collectively, when they gathered all the data, you actually got a sense of when the lineup started to happen, a sort of peak around 2 o'clock. And here's something interesting here. Women were far more likely than men to check in with Facebook. And this actually shows a bit of a danger in using social media to look at larger trends. Does this mean women were more politically active in the United States today? Or does it just mean they were more likely than men to go on Facebook and tell their friends that they cast a vote? That's a brief look at what is trending tonight. Here's a live look outside. Another chilly one. Claire is next with your Wake Up weather. And we always want to hear from you, whether it's something you saw on our program or something you'd like to see. Here's how you can get in touch with us. Here's another live look at Chicago. Many happy faces there right now. Barack Obama will have 4 more years in the White House. He's been reelected tonight, 275 electoral college votes, as you can see there. Prime Minister Stephen Harper has already released a statement congratulating him. This win comes as the Democrats took the battleground states of Iowa and Ohio tonight. Time for one last look at your weather. Let's bring back Claire Martin. So Claire, how's tomorrow morning looking?
You know what, Mike, for the morning commute, actually there's nothing in the way of weather to make it a really slow morning commute, but it's not going to be great either. We've still got a fair amount of cloud around. The cloud, quite frankly, acting like a little bit of a blanket as we go through the overnight period. Still, they've got to dip us down below the freezing mark, especially as we go into the morning, that sunrise sag where we see the temperatures drop just as the sun rises. Quite likely, temperature around -2 degrees, a cloudy start to the day, but it is dry and there's nothing in the way of flurries in the forecast. We will eventually see some sunshine late in the day. That's your last look at the weather. Mike, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Claire.
You're welcome.
And that is our show for tonight. So for Claire and everyone here, thank you very much for watching. George Strombolopoulos tonight is coming up next. We'll see you tomorrow.